So when I first got this car, the owner told me that the heated seats don't work, and I think I figured out why. That fuse that's missing right there just happens to be the seat heater. So dumb, some of the small things. So all I need is a 10 amp fuse and they probably work. Great news everybody, it's actually warm today, so I'm digging into the car. So far I've just been kind of trying to experiment to figure out what's wrong with the headlights and then trying to properly attach the bumper, but let me show you what I've found so far. This is what the car looks like without a front grille. I took it off because, well, I suspected that it was broken, and I am very, very correct in that guessing. Just taking a look at the back, you can see it's split all the way along there, which is unideal. It's not that big a deal. I don't particularly care if it's broken or not, but yeah, it's really not in the best of shape. I was hoping to reuse this, but eventually I'll probably have to get another one. So for now, we can just... Okay, I failed. So I was definitely right about this car not having an under tray. It is definitely supposed to have an under tray. So I'll probably have to buy one of those on Z1 or maybe just on Amazon, I don't know. I gotta get something for that. Thankfully I can see that the front bash bar here seems to be relatively intact. It doesn't seem to be bent or anything. It's just the bumper cover itself, or the foam is still here, but the cover itself is not lining up well at all, so that's what I'm gonna try and fix right now. So I'm trying to be smart about this. I have two of these cars, so there's the other one right there, and you can see the fitment is actually good, and then there is this thing right here. So interestingly, the coupe one is slightly different than the sedan one. It has dips in it, which doesn't seem to make too much of a difference, but they're roughly the same size overall. It's hard to show with one hand. But one thing that is notable, flipping this over, there seems to be some missing pieces. Like, I'm concerned that the entire bottom end of it is actually just not there. And looking at it from a different angle, maybe you can see it a little bit better, but it seems like the bottom end is just cracked right off. Like, that is just not there, which is kind of bad, because that means that it's never gonna fit right, unless I just twist tie it on there or something. But looking down in here, you can see that it's held to the bumper via these big clips down in there. So this one doesn't have them, which sucks. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to do that. So because I'm kind of curious as to what's behind here, and I also kind of want to drift stitch this crack in the bumper, I'm going to take it off. Basically, it's just some clips right here and one right over there. And then from the looks of things, there are some bolts hidden behind this that are going to be hard to see, but yeah, just that right there, and then possibly more behind it. I found some interesting stuff, including the foam here is just completely loose. So I'm very curious to see what's behind here. Hopefully we'll find something good and not just bad scary stuff like, oh no, it's smashed or something like that. That would be bad. Also, I'm gonna fill up this because I'm tired of seeing that warning light. My goodness. Alright, so here's the damage. No more front bumper. And also, accidentally, I ended up taking off the fender liner on the side here. But that's mostly because it was barely attached. That's kind of the theme of things going on here. The entire front bumper assembly, let me get back a little bit, was hardly on. But yeah, it was a bit of a pain to take off as well, especially on this side, because some of the bolts were barely there. Let me give you an example. This fancy looking lad right here was the bolt on the inside of that piece. I don't know if it's zooming in on it or not, but yeah, there's nothing there. There's no thread. It's literally just a stick. How is that even possible? This is what the bumper, I guess, foam cover piece looks like. It's quite heavy, but it is also broken up into a bunch of different pieces. And then there's also this, which I don't know where this came from yet, but it's cracked and it obviously has broken off of something. So I'm gonna have an interesting time putting this all back together. But yeah, it doesn't look too bad from far away, but once you get up close, there are some glaring issues. So the crack in the bumper is here, and obviously that extends to the other side, and it goes all the way down into the lower grille, which is unfortunate. So I'll be patching that. This is twist tied on because it's missing a clip. That's the license plate holder. None of these things down here are actually on anything, which would probably explain why it didn't have an under tray, because they're probably afraid that it was going to fly off. These pieces here are rusty as heck, which I guess you would suspect, especially that one. There's barely anything left. Overall, the condition of it is not great, but I mean, that's kind of expected. I wouldn't expect it to be perfect, and I do have an extra one way up there for use if necessary, and I think I might just quickly test fit that one actually. Okay, so there's the car with the new, in quotes, bumper. You can see that this one is not even in good shape either. It's got marks on it. It is mildly better shape, but whoever it took it off didn't do it right, because they ripped those out of the fenders. You're supposed to undo them, but anyway, not that big a deal. I can just take them off. It's really not that clean. It's cleaner, but it's really not that much better. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, my original idea was just to sell this piece, but seeing as that one's pretty beat up, I kind of have to make a choice. It's the wrong color, which obviously does make it look bad. It would be better to stick with the same color as before, but yeah, I'll try to figure that one out, see what I'm gonna do with it. I definitely need to sell some stuff though. I am way over budget still. I've been looking at buying more parts, and I'm not even at the green yet. Does this car look better without a bumper? Like, I'm genuinely concerned now that I might just have to make something custom, because it doesn't look bad. Like, obviously we got some cleaning up to do, but yeah, goodness. Hey everyone, so I'm down here in my basement, and it's time to get to some drift stitching. The bumper is right over here, kind of just sitting in the middle. The lighting down here is terrible, so I apologize in advance. I'm trying my best. I have a lamp set up over there, and then the overhead stuff here. It's not ideal, but yeah, I'm gonna try and just stitch this bumper indoors because it's cold outside and I want to make it as straight as possible. Wish me luck. My strategy here is quite simple. Basically, I have 3 kinds of cable ties, all from various dollar stores, and then I have a drill with a drill bit, and I've got a bunch of other drill bits just in case. But I'm hoping to correct some of these issues here. The bumper is still quite dirty, so I'm just going to wipe it off real quick in the areas that I'm working in. And this is going to be quick and dirty. It's not going to be good. You can see this bumper is not great anyways. It has a bit of a dent here, and I mean, it's a lot worse than that. You'll see as we go forward, but there's one of the cracks right there. And then there's another one, I believe it's on the other side. Yeah, right here where this light would meet here is split completely. So I do want to try and fix that as well. Just some small stuff, I guess. I don't know. This is really a band-aid. I mean, I want to hang on to this bumper as much as I can, so this is what I gotta do. So I'm starting with the smaller crack here. You can see that I mean, it doesn't look great, but it's holding together. Basically, I just did this one with one just because it was easier than crossing over, but I'm going to cross over up here as just kind of a test to see what that looks like. This is my trial run. Thankfully, the drill goes through this no problem. This stuff is like butter. This is the kind of budget fixes you guys wanted to see, right? It actually looks pretty good. My only concern is that these be tight. I mean, this is the first one I did, but these other two, that's pretty flush. I think that I'm gonna be able to get this done nicely. Alright, so I fixed the license plate holder, kind of. I didn't have a piece that could go in here. I mean, I'll have to find a bolt or something, but there used to be 2 cable ties running down this way, and I basically just simplified it by putting it in here. It's, I don't know, it looks a little bit neater. It won't make the plate stick out, that's the main thing. But it's on to the main event. This crack right here is cracked from all the way down there all the way to up here. Now my process for this is pretty easy. Basically, I just have a rag, and then I'm just gonna wipe it off in that area a little bit better than what I'm just showing you. And then I have a Sharpie, and I just put dots everywhere that I want a stitch to be, and then I just drill in those spots, and then I just stitch. It's nice and simple. The whole point of this is to make sure that this crack doesn't get any bigger and go all the way down into the light, and then split this bumper in two, because it's getting close. Like, that's not very far away, which makes me hesitant to want to sell the other bumper, because I'm not sure. I don't want this one to be entirely held together by cable ties, so yeah, we'll see. We'll see if this holds up. I'll just have to try not to hit anything. That's the main goal. And here is the completed drift stitch on the main crack. It's not perfect, but it is way, way stronger than it was. And it doesn't look too bad either. I mean, it's obvious. But yeah, we're getting a bit of a scarecrow theme going on without actually wanting it. I don't mind though. I like it. Alright, so here is the car in its finished, in quotes, state. I managed to stitch the bumper. That's what the final result is. And you can see there were some casualties in terms of scratches from placing it back on, but the fitment isn't great. It never has been great, and it's not any better now than it used to be, especially over on this side right here. That is a little bit more than what I'd like. But overall, it's not looking too bad. Unfortunately, you can see me directly in the shadow there. It's actually very beautiful. It's really nice and warm, so I've been kind of encouraged to do stuff, and so I took off the cover here because I don't think we're gonna need that, and just did a bit of an inspection to see what's going on. Funny thing I noticed is that this piece here, which I don't actually know what it is, I think it has something to do with the headlight modules, was dangling down underneath there, and so I just put it back in its spot. I'm hopeful that that was the problem with the headlights. It's possible that it is, if that is indeed the headlight module, so maybe that will make them work properly. It seems to be some stupid fixes on this car, just dumb stuff that was causing issues. I'm thinking about ripping this off because it looks terrible, and I don't think we actually need it. I'm not concerned about noise or anything with this car. And just looking at this, I suspect because this has been off before, that there was an aftermarket intake on here at one point. I mean, this car has been used and abused over its years, I'm sure. It's relatively clean in terms of rust, but pretty much everything else is dirty and gross. So, yeah. I'm hoping that one day soon I can pull it out of the garage here, give it a wash, and we can really look it over for marks and things. But as of right now, it's, well, it's still gonna be dirty. This is just how it is. Alright, I'm hiding in the garage again. I just wanted to say thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this update. A lot more stuff going on with this one. Next one, I'm hoping to yank those wheels off, take a look at the brakes. They look fine just from a quick inspection, but I kind of want to see them up close. That's the big thing that needs to be done before I get a safety done. But I've been busy in the last couple weeks, so I haven't really had time. Anyway, that's up on the that's on the to-do list, and a lot more stuff coming up as well. I'm trying to keep things fresh on the channel, and therefore making new content for you guys. And I'm hopeful that this build is at least interesting. I don't want to be posting weekly uninteresting updates. But yeah, let me know, guys. I can also do like once every 2 weeks, and possibly do less in terms of just small stuff and more big stuff, hopefully. But yeah, thank you for watching. Subscribe to this channel if you are interested in this content, and check out this entire playlist. Watch every video in it and get back to me on what you think. And I'll see you guys next time.